Hi Aries, welcome to your extended reading for November 2023. We have a lot going on in November 2023, so I will talk a little bit about the astrology and then we will dive into the reading. For the extended monthly readings, I do a spread that gives you the overall situation, what we need more of, what we need less of, the challenges that we have, what we need to accept, and what we can change, and then the outcome at the end of the month. What I find particularly interesting right off the bat is when I was meditating on the cards and getting them ready, I did notice that at the bottom was the Emperor, which is related to Aries. And then look what pops out, the World card. So this is feeling your place in the universe. Now remember that September and October really brought us some challenges when it comes to how we control our fire and how we present our fire to others. So when it comes to fire signs, you have to ask yourself, do you want to burn people with your fire, or do you want to provide light and warmth? So when it comes to the challenges that we have been facing for Aries, that is really one of the biggest challenges for you, is being mindful of your fire. And when this comes to emotional regulation, we can connect it to our shadow, because when we are triggered by our shadow and we don't integrate our shadow, those triggers are what result in the eruption of the fire energy as a means to protect ourselves. So the more we can incorporate water into our lives, the less reactionary behavior, reactionary words are spoken, okay? Because remember, nights are the energy of like a teenager, there is no really a regulation, and there's benefits to that sometimes when we need to take action, but at other times, when we haven't integrated our shadow, it results in words being spoken that we are using as a means of protection, but really they're not protecting us at all. They're just protecting us in toxic cycles, if you will. So the focus should really be on integrating our shadow, celebrating this emotional overall maturity, if you will, and really having more beneficial relationships. So overall, astrologically speaking, November is really going to be a put up or shut up, if you will, when it comes to facing our shadow, the challenges that come with that. And also a reminder to be mindful of resistance in your life, okay? Because some resistance, follow the path of least resistance. Some resistance is there to guide you in a different direction, but then some resistance is there to push through, okay? So if there's resistance to you learning your shadow work, incorporating your shadow, we want to power through that. So that's where you can really channel that wonderful fire energy into pushing forward into a new path. So you might be noticing, especially during that we had that powerful lunar eclipse in Taurus, and we might be being nudged, hey, are you really going to follow through? So if you're noticing that, those are the type of resistance where it's yes, I do mean what I say, and I am going to follow through. And, it's interesting. What just popped in my head, one of my daughter's favorite books is Horton Hatches an Egg. And one of the biggest parts of that is I mean what I said, I meant what I said, I mean what I said, I meant what I said. And elephants, what is it, honey? I mean what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Thank you, sweetheart. Side note, if you do hear any coloring or anything, my daughter is homesick, so please bear with me on that. So anyways, you really want to follow through. If you are setting on a new path, we want to follow through with it, okay? It's that kind of follow through that is astrologically being guided to us right now. So we will, though, have more, what am I trying to say here? Encouragement from the universe, less resistance when it comes to once we follow through, then we're being guided forward, because Scorpio season is that season of death, rebirth, transformation. And so mid-month, when we're getting closer to Sagittarius, that is the passion being ignited and really taking off. So think of this as, the butterfly in the cocoon and emerging the caterpillar in the cocoon, butterfly emerging from it. We're in the cocoon right now, if you will. When it comes to this transitional area. And now remember, for every sign, it's going to be different for, you know, depending on what houses you have, what placements. So please, always a reminder to look at your birth chart and follow the wonderful astrologers on YouTube. I love Pam Gregory, Stillwater Alchemy, Alina Alive, and Heather Ensworth, Donna Stellhorn. There's wonderful channels that can really help you look at the houses, look at the planets that are ruled by particular signs, you know? So another thing to pay attention to is Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. Now, this is really going to influence this in a manner of hard work and compassion. So going again back to all of these elements that you have been guided, all fire signs are being guided to really think about how you show your fire. Are you showing it in a manner of burning others because your shadow is still trying to protect you? Or are you transformed into the warmth and light aspect of your fire? And Saturn is going direct on November 4th, okay? So it's really sparking creative inspiration. Now, this is where you can really channel your fire, okay? And take that fire to a whole new level. So we also, in the month, have Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. Now, this indicates lucky breaks in some area of our life, all right? So definitely pay attention to where Taurus is in your chart. And this is going to really crescendo in the spring of 2024. So whatever it is where you're guided, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, like that came out of nowhere. And now I have this wonderful opportunity. Definitely pay attention to that because the crescendo is going to be in spring 2024. But this Scorpio season is really giving us a hint of what's going to be happening. Yeah, wow. Like I said, I mean, it's going to be rapid, okay? And really, I think because when this is happening, I think Sagittarius season, like I said, is really where we're going to see a lot of forward movement. A lot of us finally, you know, not being held back from our shadow, if you will. Yeah, so reminder too, focus on what you have. It's very easy, especially, you know, globally, collectively, to want to ignore what we have in front of us right now. But like I said, the more of us that can collectively just get together and send out our love, collective belief that the Aquarian age, the judgment era is coming, and not only coming, but already here, that more that we will see it in our day-to-day lives. All right, so then we also have a new moon in Scorpio on November 13th, and this is really going to push us to take risks. So this is a reminder why it's so important to not only face our shadow, but embrace our shadow before then, because your shadow's relationship with you is going to make a big difference. Because when we are being guided to take big risks, impulsive behavior, connected to triggers, connected to reactionary behavior, right? We really want to be aligned with that era that's coming in, with you showing your fire as a means of light, as a means of warmth, okay? But it is a choice. Tarot always remind you, it is a choice. So these risks that you take are all dependent on how you integrate your shadow into your life, okay? Very important message. And then, of course, Sagittarius season, November 22nd. And then there's also a full moon in Gemini right after that on the 27th of November. Now, here is where that shadow work is also going to really, really matter, because the highlight of this is differences of opinions, okay? And learning to accept a difference in opinion to move forward collectively. Now, this is where fire signs, it's really important that we just don't reject other people's opinions and do it in a reactionary manner, because that is part of that old paradigm, okay? And so if you need time to rest, be with yourself, like honestly, I'm really getting an indication, like we really need to take a time out and just be with ourselves, be with our thoughts, whatever comes up, write it down, you know, release that fear of allowing that. And I'm getting a really big message of really being scared of the water, and water is gaining a lot of power elementally, astrologically. We really want to let it go because it's really making us feel stuck when we're not stuck, okay? Excuse me, this idea of not, this idea of resisting, this change. I'm really getting like a resistance of allowing that. And funny enough that the Ten of Swords is ruled by Sun and Gemini, like we really need to stop the overthinking, face our shadow, embrace our shadow, and move forward into this new wonderful paradigm, okay? So enough of the astrology for now. But I mean, another fellow fire sign, when Sagittarius season, we want to be aligned with where we're going, right? So that we can really allow, yeah, I'm really getting like strong indication of shadow work, Aries, okay? So if you are like, pay attention to when you're triggered. What are the words said? What is the situation you're in? You know, a lot of times our shadow is not the big trigger, like, I'm sorry, these big events in our life that, you know, allow our shadow to grow, if you will. Those aren't necessarily the triggers. Sometimes it are these mundane day-to-day things that come up, and it's like, wow, where did that come? Why is this coming out? Okay, so that's why it's so important to do that shadow work. And if you go back to the September tarot readings that I have, I linked a shadow work journal in all of those readings, and that is really where you unlock accepting all of who you are, okay? And it's wonderful. It's almost like a Mad Lib where it guides you, fill in the blank, and when you do it, again, without the overthinking, just going with it, some of the things connect to your shadow, you're like, wow, really? Like, oh, that does make sense. That is why I react like that to this situation or to this person, you know? And so really going with, it really helps you go with the flow, okay? And so we need to nurture ourselves and be our own mothers sometimes. Because reminder, like this is the energy, right? That's been for a while now, since that full moon in Capricorn in July, but we want to be connected to the lightning bolt of change. We do not want to be attached to the tower that's crumbling. That tower is that Capricorn paradigm, okay? So the more that we can align with that energy, the better off we'll be, and the more we will manifest what we're trying to manifest. Because, I mean, you're charged forward, right? And you know how to manifest. However, if you have not integrated your shadow into your life, like say you're like, I want a new vehicle, right? But you're constantly overthinking, negative thinking, and sure, you get that vehicle, but that vehicle is breaking down all the time. It's kind of like that, okay? So the more that you can feel your place in the universe, and we do that by, again, integrating our shadow, the more you're going to get this. How amazing is that? The two best cards, I believe, in the deck. All right. So I think we should get into it. But yeah, read up more on the astrology. I definitely think it's important to incorporate that. But as far as signs to look at, what planets and what houses, I would take a look at Pisces, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, and Sagittarius, okay? And again, if you don't know what planets what signs rule what planets in your chart or what houses the signs rule in your chart, I link Pam Gregory's free birth chart in every video description. So let's get into it, okay, Aries? All right, let's see what we got for Aries for November 2023. Yeah, wow. Look what's at the bottom of the deck again. This is your power, all right, Aries? Amazing. All right. Let us get into this. So, reminder of what I said earlier with your shadow, the overall energy for the month of November is the Five of Coins. Now, as one of my favorite astrologers says, you can either be a victim of the universe or a co-creator with the universe. And this is really what I'm getting from this card specifically, all right? There's so much worrying and like a lot connected to emotional victimhood, okay, and feeling like you have no control over your situation. Now, take this how it resonates, but generally the coins are related to material abundance and or lack thereof, or health, right? Like health issues or financial issues. But I'm really getting a sense of this feeling like you're not in control of, and you know what? You've been getting this a lot actually, Aries. This connection of like, I'm not in control of how I act. I'm not in control of my situation. I'm not in control of my thoughts. I'm not in control of how I speak to others. And we really need to reel that in. However, all of the astrology is pointing to what I said in the beginning of this, put up or shut up, and this transformation, because the outcome is amazing. So just a reminder, Aries, that the tarot is just a guide. It's not like these things just happen, okay? It does take hard work and dedication. And the reason I'm telling you that is because the Ace of Swords is in the position of what you need more of. This is determination. This is the ability to incorporate new ways of thinking into your life, all right? And to not be scared of new ideas. This is a message of freedom too. If we do take this new opportunity, this new direction, this new thought process, and run with it. So we really want to incorporate this into our lives, okay? And so if you are being guided, like I really believe, I'm getting this sense of synchronicities, that there are things popping up around you where it's telling you, yes, I should be doing this. And we just turn the other way, right? And so we really need to pay attention to signs. I mean, if you're seeing eagles in the sky, you know what I mean? Like that kind of energy of synchronicity, please pay attention to it, because you really want to allow yourself to transform your thinking in some way. What I love seeing in this position, the Knight of Wands, this is fire energy, and it's also not only ruled by fire, but it's ruled by Scorpio. So astrologically speaking, you are in the perfect place to take the lessons from September and October and transform them, okay? And to be prepared for Sagittarius season, because it's going to be so quickly moving. The energy is going to be so rapid, okay? But really you are embracing, or I shouldn't say you are, but you have the right energy to embrace these new experiences. And when we do it with this new way of thinking, when we reject being a victim and become the co-creator and understand that that light is within, we're not going to find it in other people. That light, that fire is within us. It's not somewhere else. We need to stop looking away from ourselves. Go within, okay? That is when we unlock this wonderful potential, okay? So you have everything in you that's urging you to seek new experiences. And those new experiences should be guided by this new way of thinking. Interesting enough, you have the Death card and the energy that you need less of. So I do believe that we are discarding either parts of ourselves or relationships or careers that we're misinterpreting. Again, this feeling of victimhood, like we're discarding too much almost. We really need to stick with a routine that is going to help us shed this Five of Coins energy, okay? And I believe that we'll get more clarity on that once we get into it, because again, we go through past life energy, we go have an empowering question, crystal energy, and a clarifying card. So we're definitely going to get to it, but I think we need to focus on what we have in front of us, okay? It's almost that energy of, this is too hard, I'm going to be done with that. You know what I mean? Like I said, where there's good resistance and bad resistance, there's a resistance happening in your life that you don't want to face that is really taking you to the next level. And this is interesting too, because the Knight of Swords is in the area of what you can change. And again, I really think this is related to what you think, okay? It's also aligned in like your beliefs, okay? So there's something about rejecting some belief that you actually are aligned with that you're not realizing. So take that how it resonates, okay? But if you're feeling like you're not able to stand up for what you believe in because you're getting resistance, you can change that. All right. You can also change the way you speak to people. I think that's important because, again, the Knights are reactionary, whether it be our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, but this is related to our thoughts and our words. And so if there is a way, very interesting enough, if there's a way we speak to others, or more importantly, the way we speak to ourselves, we can change that, Aries. Okay. So justice is in the area of what you need to accept. And honestly, I really do believe that we need to stop seeing things from this Five of Coins perspective. All right. Other people have this. Okay. It's the yin and the yang. All right. We need to, this is, if anything, if ever there was a wake up call for you, Aries, it is accepting other people's differences, how they can benefit you in your life. We need to accept, it's not our job to force people to think the way that we think. We need to shine our light. We need to, shine that fire, not in a means to try and force people to be fire. Water is there for a reason, okay? Fire is there for a reason. Earth is there for a reason. Air is there for a reason. All the elements are meant to work together, not become each other, but work together. A wonderful movie to watch is Elemental. If you haven't seen it, it's a Disney Pixar movie, and it is fantastic when it explains how the elements can work together, all right? But we really need to accept a difference of opinion. We really need to accept responsibility for our actions, responsibility for our words. All right. We can bring our life into balance if we take on this challenge. All right. And become a co-creator and not a victim of the universe. And this is what's so fantastic, and why the hairs on my arm are standing up right now, is because the outcome at the end of November is the Queen of Coins. Now, what I said about Sagittarius season and the fire energy, the Queen of Coins is enjoying the abundance that they have. Look at this. This is, okay. Again, hairs on my arm standing up. So see this person, they're feeling like a victim. They need somebody to help them. They're not going within. By the end of the month, you see this? What is that right there? That inner light is from within, okay? It's like you could even take this as your psyche, right? And the roots of your shadow take a hold of you. And the roots want you to, your shadow wants you to be the victim so that you stay in this cycle where they know they're safe, regardless of whether or not it's a good situation for you. But look what you unlock when you face it and embrace it and accept this new way of thinking about life, accepting this new way of thinking about yourself and your situation, your relationships, how you speak to yourself, how you speak to others. You unlock it all. You unlock good health, abundance, material wealth, right? Everything. The Queen of Coins is so abundant in everything in her life. Look at that. That is that transformation. Again, look at you. This could not be any more clear for you, Aries. All right. Now, let us pull a past life card. Now, this past life energy, it can be related to your childhood. It can, if you're a parent, your life before a child in your life. It can be related to an actual past life. So take it how it resonates. But we want to clarify what past life energy is going to help us clear the Five of Coins. I mean, this is wonderful to see, though, how incorporated all of this. Oh, okay. Hold up a second. This is fascinating. You see the hawks that are here, right? We have this unlocking that freedom, right? That freedom of thinking. I also believe that you actually, now that I think back, correct me if I'm wrong, but somewhere in September, you did get messages related to how important it is how you speak to yourself and how that reflects how you speak to others. But do you see this hawk that's injured? Okay. So let's get our past life card, because we really need less of that. But what past life energy is going to help Aries in November 2023 with this transformation? I mean, honestly, I got to go back. Like, this is the transformation I was talking about. This is so unbelievably important, Aries. She manifested that all because she connected to her inner light. This is victim. This is co-creator. You're transforming from victim to co-creator. My goodness. Okay. What past life energy is going to help guide Aries for November 2023? Past life energy for Aries for November 2023. Yeah, that difference of opinion is really important. I think, like I said, what you need to accept. And this is important going into Sagittarius season, that full moon in Gemini. That's going to be a challenge. Do you accept other people's opinions? Can you accept it without reacting, right? Can those triggers, there's something related to other difference of opinion and triggers, and maybe you didn't feel like you could speak up, you know, in childhood, past life. But there's something there where you might feel an urge to silence others because maybe you were silenced. So let's see what past life energy is going to help guide Aries. All right. What is it? Let's reveal. Love life. Okay. So for the past life energy readings, I like to read directly from the book because it is important to do so. Oh, but interesting enough, before we even do that, I just want to connect this rose to this blossoming one. All right, so some sort of hurt when it comes to love. Okay, and again, feeling this victim mentality. But no matter what in our situations, are we victims in life? Of course. But do we allow that shadow of victimhood to guide us, to, you know, quote, keep us safe? It's not keeping us safe. There's really something related to a past love energy. Now, this love, it can be, you know, a relationship with a partner, or it can be, you know, love, sibling, parent, you know what I mean, grandparent, take it how it resonates, friend. Okay, but there's something really strongly connected to this hurt, if you will, that we really need to let go of. It's holding us back. So this card comes to you as an indication that your love life is affected by one or more previous lifetimes. More likely, you had a painful experience back then that caused you to be overly cautious. In such cases, working on yourself can help you reopen your beautiful, loving heart. In that way, you can love and be loved again. It's also likely that this card comes to you as validation that the man or woman you're romantically interested in is also a prominent person in your past life. This individual may not necessarily have been a romantic partner at that time, but your inclination to connect romantically in this life is definitely part of a greater plan. So if there is some sort of love blossoming, we want to be mindful of whether or not this relationship is connected to being a co-creator of the universe or coming back to the cycle of victimhood. Okay, so just take that how it resonates. It can also be related to a job too. So let's get a powering question for Aries for November 2023. Let's get an empowering question for Aries that will help guide them through November 2023. All right, Aries, empowering question for Aries for November 2023. But yeah, definitely related to our relationship, because see, I mean, there's the two people here. We really, yeah. Also, if there's some relationship you're rejecting because this person is, you know, quote, too different from you, we also need to be mindful of that, because really embracing differences, like that's the biggest challenge. Is it's important to accept a difference in opinion. So your empowering question is, who or what defines the contents of my life? Who or what defines the contents of my life? All right, let's get some crystal energy that we can use for November 2023. I know sometimes, Aries, it can feel like tough love tarot when it comes to my readings, but all of it's all for your greater good. Okay. Because again, reminder, all of this hard work, this transformational energy, this Scorpio season is to unlock the Queen of Coins. I mean, like I said, there could never be a more clearer message. When she gets out of the victimhood and becomes the co-creator, it's the same person, right? All right. What crystal energy? What crystal energy can help Aries for November 2023? Crystal energy to help Aries for November 2023. Nice. All right. You got peach calcite. Peach calcite is related to harmonize. All right. Balance, harmony, accepting differences, embracing the yin and the yang, not only of others, but most importantly of yourself. The most important relationship you have is with yourself. And so, like I said, the more we can face our shadow, embrace our shadow, right? You need your spirit and your shadow to guide you forward in the direction that is going to take you where you want to be. Another fascinating thing, I'm just going back to here. This hawk, this knight, look at the knight in the background. So take that how it resonates. All right. So please, if you can get some peach calcite, even if you can have some, like, you know, peach incorporated into your office, your bedroom, you know, have the peach calcite near you, put it in your pocket, wear some jewelry with it, somewhere where you can focus on it, especially if you are doing your shadow work. I would definitely have some peach calcite because it's really going to help you not resist that work that needs to be done. Okay, so let's get one clarifying card for Aries. Let's get, well, that was quick. So I really, like I said, I really think you're being guided. How important, yeah, boom, how important this is. The King of Cups is your clarifier. The King of Cups, reminder to pay attention to your dreams, especially during that new moon and full moon. But most importantly, the King of Cups is emotionally balanced. His emotional life is in harmony. Those triggers, does he have reactionary thoughts that come up into his head? Yes, but do they allow him to react, to speak, you know, from a place of hurt, to allow those triggers to guide his decisions, to guide his movement? No. All right. So that's the most important thing. You know, when you embrace your shadow, it's not like your shadow just disappears. All right. You allow it to be okay. All right. It's that inner child. It's that victim child, right? So couldn't be a clearer message for you, Aries. So I hope you enjoyed this extended reading. If you did, please do like, comment, and share with other people that you think this video might resonate with. Also, please subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot on YouTube so you get notifications of when new videos pop up. We'll be uploading some shadow work videos soon. So definitely hit that notification button so that you, or subscribe button so that you get notified of when those videos do pop up. But yeah, this is to get that emotional clarity and fulfillment, okay? Because it comes from you doing the work from within. Once you get out of this and you do that shadow work, it all becomes so perfectly clear. All right, so step out of victimhood, become a co-creator with the universe, and really nurture yourself. All right, Aries, you deserve love just as much as everybody. And a reminder how you show your fire, okay? You want to be light and warmth, okay? You don't have to burn people to get what you want. Also, check out your sun, moon, and rising for a more in-depth look at the week ahead. And if there's any particular planets that you need clarity on, honestly, I would take a look at your Saturn, okay? And see what sign rules Saturn. If you don't know what signs rule what planets in your chart, reminder, Pam Gregory's free birth chart is always linked. But your Saturn is your blocks, your fears, your limitations, and it's really connected to your shadow. And I think watching that corresponding video could really unlock some information for you. So have an amazing, transformative month of November, Aries.